tonight we're going to celebrate the hard win that we accomplished. It was awesome to see how persistent the guys were. Again, one of the best things about it is you see how the team got stronger as the game went on, and that's a true sign of coaches coaching, players playing to be their best in all three phases. And again, once again, Bronco Nation showed up and showed out for us today. It was awesome. It was a great atmosphere in there. We're very grateful. We set a record today with attendance, which was exciting, being his homecoming, and to have a bunch of alumni, to have family, parents in town for the weekend to visit their sons and daughters that come to this fine university. It was fun to conclude the weekend that way. With that, I'll take questions.
Coach, second straight week with more than 300 rushing yards. How much easier is it to make everything else on offense when the running game is clicking that well?
Well, it's about moving the chains, and you get to third downs. We were 10 of 18 on third downs, and the ones we won is typically third and shorter, and that starts with first down and how we run the ball. The quick passing game we use, running the ball gets more guys in the box, opens up plays, pass plays down the field. We got to keep working on our timing with those and connecting on those. But we love the progress, not only what we saw out there tonight. I mean, obviously we didn't call every call on the call sheet, but there were a lot of plays that we didn't use tonight that, boy, they looked a lot better this week in practice than they did the week before. And so we just got to keep growing on that stuff. But the run game opens everything up. That's where football starts. Teams that win championships are able to win at the line of scrimmage.
How much is first time in program history you've had 2 games in a row with 200-yard rushers? I mean, how much are your guys embracing this kind of new look offense or this new style, running a little more as much as you guys are these last couple of games? How much are they buying into this and liking this?
Well, I mean, you can tell by the sideline that they're having a good time. They're persistent with working as a team, and early on in the game too, we were able to make some throws down the field. Whether it be play actions or drop back passes, and again, we're going to continue to build on that stuff because defense's answers are going to be to put as many guys as they can in the box, which creates more space on the field on the perimeter.
I know you said that you feel like you guys have room to grow and get better, but still to make in-season changes like this and to see immediate results, what does that say about the coaching staff, of the players, to be able to do this when you guys really needed to?
Yeah, you know what? Like we said a few weeks ago, everything we do is about the players. It's for these young men. That's what we're here to do. We're here to be our best. Obviously, what comes with that is a high standard for our guys because we love them. We want them to grow. We want them to keep developing. We know that what they're capable of, and this is a glimpse of what they're capable of. Again, we got some fine young men on this team, as we said a few weeks ago, that we believe in, that are talented, and we want to continue to help them grow any way we can. But to build a belief through hard work and execution is something different, and that's what they're getting a good taste of, and we look forward again to even improving on that during the bye week and having a little bit of fun. The competition next week is ourselves. That's where competing always starts, is within. And to answer your question, that's what we're so proud of these guys, that they've done a really good job in the last couple weeks here, starting with competing with themselves, showing up here every single day, having fun, getting ready for our opportunities.
The game that Zeke Noah had tonight, I mean, a pick, a fumble, a forced fumble, sack. I mean, I think it's been 5 years around here since someone's had a game like that. He's coming back this year. We talked a lot about him, but for him to be in his 6th year, make the most of it, and have an impact like this, how nice is it?
Yeah, I mean, he was very active. He was extremely active today. The interception was awesome. Now, I mean, he couldn't have, he was in a hook seam drop, and he was looking 2 to 1 to one side of the field, and neither one of them showed. So he knew the route was coming from the other side, and that's going to be a picture that probably gets hung up around here because he went 2 eyes, 2 hands, as Coach Miller always talks about in the snatch life and how you catch a football. And it's been a little while since he's carried the ball, but I think he did a good enough job. We get a little bit of blocking for him, and he could have scored a touchdown. And then again, you spoke about a couple TFLs he had. So we're really excited not only for how he's playing. We've seen what DJ is doing as well. And again, I mean, I always talk about it because, I played linebacker, and I know what it is, man. If you got a good D line, you got a good shot to be a linebacker, and it goes without being said that Scotty, Herb, Jackson, Dimitri, George, all those guys up front, they're doing a really good job. And the cool part about it is they got to want to keep growing too. Every week those guys show up and they want to keep getting better and better.
Obviously, it's hard to have too many gripes when you score 40 points, but kicking 4 field goals in the red zone, what kind of happened on those, and how do you clean that up in the bye week?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing a good team too. They got a good defense, so not always going to get it in there, and we want to obviously have a very high touchdown ratio when we get in there. But at the end of the day, it's not always going to turn out that way. But to answer your question, that's why we're going to come back and watch film tomorrow and get ready for the bye week.
With Ashton, I know we've asked you about it before, but you're trying to ice away a victory there with a 10-point lead instead of having to, get George Alani upwards of 30 carries. You clearly have the confidence in a true freshman to finish that thing off. What is that?
What about Elion too? How about that? Coach Cutter was pretty excited about the third running back jumping in there today. He was excited for KB. And you know what? I mean, we've seen T. Crow in there. You wouldn't know it, but T. Crow's a little banged up. But you wouldn't even know it, And again, it's just everybody doing what they can at any moment, at any time, whether that's the D lineman going and playing on offense, to move the chains. I mean, the whole team gets pretty fired up when that happens. Scotty was pretty mad at the end there when he didn't get to go in with that group. But we let Mike Callahan have a little fun and go out there, and he did a really good job.
Where is this team different than it was 2 weeks ago?
Well, the belief, I mean, again, putting guys in a position to succeed. Throughout the course of the week, the coaches are doing a great job understanding the personnel. What does this personnel do best? How can it complement each other? How can it help in all 3 phases? And when all 3 phases are clicking, that's a different force. That's what team football is. And, it's all 3 phases aren't always going to be perfect, and that's where you complement each other, where you help each other. But when all 3 phases are clicking, I think we've seen that, we got a really strong team.
How much do you feel like George has found a real good rhythm these last couple games?
Yeah, I mean, George is, again, the O-line has a much better box to block when, some of those numbers are getting pulled out onto the perimeter for the quarterback's number. But I will say this, too. George and Ashton have done a phenomenal job in the run game in terms of, we got a few different schemes we run, but they've, in the zone schemes, they've had tremendous vision. They've set up those blocks for the O-lineman to help the O-lineman. I mean, it just doesn't happen. I mean, they're literally trained on these mid-zone schemes, how to stay on a track to help the O-lineman get to their blocks and their combinations. And, they've spent a lot of they spent a lot of time, and it's just awesome to see how it's coming together now.
Defensively, they got that field goal right before half, so you go in up 3, and then you come out, and I think they only converted 1 third down in the second half. You held them to 45 yards. What was it about that D locking up when you needed to in the second half?
Yeah, we had to get to go quarterback and just disrupt the timing of the pass game a little bit more in the second half. We didn't do a good enough job of that, and it wasn't the players' fault. It was we just needed to get to some things that we had in the plan, and we were able to do that. When you play a team that is very capable in the passing game like they are and have the type of wide receivers they do, you got to be able to get to the quarterback, and we put them in a better position, and they executed, did a much better job in the second half. And you know what? They just played cleaner in the second half. I'm going to be honest with you. The defense was better with their eyes in the second half, did a better job tackling in the second half. They found their rhythm there, and it was really exciting to see that. Again, the coolest part about it is they were just persistent. Anything, what do we need to do? How are we going to do it better on the next drive? Coaches are coaching, players are listening, they're helping each other, they're talking, and again, they got stronger as the game went on, and it was pretty cool to see.
With Ashton, one more about him. How good is he at finishing runs? I mean, he just is a tough guy to tackle.
Yeah, I mean, he does a great job of not giving defenders a whole lot of body to tackle. I mean, you're pretty much getting shoulder pad, right? And I think on one of those runs there, the second to the last drive, I mean, shoot, he got one of our players too and one of the Fresno players. And I think it was Billy. I think Billy might have got ran over by him as well. But it's impressive to see the mentality, especially late there in the game when it's a 2-possession game and we know what it is. Everybody in the stadium knows what it is at that point. And the O-line, the tight ends are blocking, and the way those running backs are running the ball, it shows you the mentality of not only that position group but of our offense and our team.
I believe that it lived outside of your office for the last year, but I'm excited we'll be to wake up tomorrow and see the milk outside.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Obviously, it's a big deal to our boosters. It's a big deal to our fan base, and the guys, they understand that, and very proud of them for, keeping the milk jug here.
Obviously undefeated in Mountain West play. Coming off that bye, how do you make sure your guys kind of keep that stride for the back half of the season?
It's all about us this next week. The competition will be as high as it ever is. And we will have plenty of things that we need to work at in all 3 phases. But at the same time, we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to have fun doing it. There's going to be a commitment. It is going to be very concise, very clear on the things that we need to get better at as a team. And like I said, the most important thing is next week, too, we're going to continue to build our chemistry as a team. We're gonna do stuff together to make sure that we understand the gratitude. We understand how grateful we are for being a part of this program, to getting to be around each other, because this is a special group. And they need some rest too, because they've been getting after it. So the practices will be shorter. They will be shorter, but again, we're gonna get a lot of work out of them.
And having fun, and Jay mentioned the trophy. Did you see your guys holding up the trophy, and some were kissing it, and taking turns, taking like they're drinking out of it and stuff? I mean, they put a lot of hours and stuff in. What's it like to see a couple minutes there where they can celebrate and have fun like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into this deal. I mean, they've been working hard. They've been putting in extra time. I'm not just talking about on the field. I'm talking about in the film room, in the training room. I mean, we're through 6 now, right? Here we go. Look how fast it went. That's a grind. We've played 3 Friday games. There's been some short weeks. These guys they've really pushed through. We'll see. We'll have some bumps and bruises coming out of this one, as it is football. But we're looking to get a few guys back too during this bye week, which is awesome. But just really proud of them. They deserve it. And like you guys were talking about, how do we keep growing forward? It starts with grace. It starts with being thankful for making the strides that we've made, and having a really good understanding that creates the urgency of wanting to do more, wanting to continue to grow.
First time in his career he got to play a full college football game. I've said a lot of good, a couple of mistakes. What did you see out of him tonight, and your thoughts on getting a chance to run the show?
That's all we expect from him is to learn from every opportunity he gets to go out there. I mean, it's the second time starting. He's going to do things he's going to need to learn from. That's going to happen. You know what? And it's our job to help him learn from those things. And if there's a mistake made, just like if there's a mistake made on defense, we have each other's back. We cover it up. We go turn a bad situation into the best we can. But it's awesome to see him, go out there, and he is learning. He's learning with every series he gets, every drive he goes on. He's learning, and he really cares about what he's doing, and he really cares about doing well for his brothers.
Last question. And I believe it was Jackson Cravens that had a chance of a touchdown catch late in the game. As a forward defensive guy yourself, how much fun is it for those guys when you get a chance to touch the ball?
I know, boy. We had 3 DTs on routes and couldn't get one of them. We were hoping. We practiced it a lot. We'll have to go back to the drawing board and see about getting those guys another shot. But you know what? They go in there and they block all the time, right? And they do those things. So, that opportunity to either get him the ball, Scott, Herbie, one of them. Maybe we'll find that opportunity another time down the road.
Did you ever get a chance to play crew to catch a touchdown?
No, they didn't probably trust me enough to catch the ball, I guess. I don't know, but I never got to run a route. Thank you, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see y'all in a few.